teachers, our today's lesson on simplifying expression, lesson 98, is on understanding like terms and unlike terms. Teachers, many a times students get confused with like terms and unlike terms. For example, students tend to collect unlike terms such as 4L plus M is equals to 4LM, or 4L plus 3M is equals to 7LM, or 7 outside the bracket L plus M. These are simple mistakes that students do during the lesson. For today's hint, teachers, encourage the students what the like terms are during the lesson. Like terms are simplified when they have the same combination of symbols. For example, 3LM plus 4ML is equals to 7LM. This example is an example of what like terms are. So during the lesson, receiving teacher, please do encourage the students what like terms are and explain how you could simplify like terms. With that, we will move on to our lesson for today. Hello, receiving students and Sevenis.
Hello, Mr. Mamari.
Thank you, take your seat. Receiving students and Sevenis, before we go on to our today's lesson, let us recap what we have learned in our previous lesson by doing this activity. Receiving students, we have a recapping activity which is on the screen. Now, the recapping activity is, what is the answer? A plus A plus A is 3 lots of A. Is that correct? Yes. Or 3 times A, or A times 3. Now, there's a question there, receiving students and Sevenis. How do we write this without multiplication sign?
3A.
Receiving students and Sevenis? 3A. Okay? Let's see what I have for you on the screen, or what answer I have. Good. The answer is 3A. Receiving students and Sevenis, remember in our previous lesson, we sometimes omit multiplication sign because there is a chances of confusing yourself with letter X and the multiplication sign. So when we are multiplying algebra, we omit the multiplication sign. Now let us look at our today's lesson. Our today's lesson, lesson 98, is on simplifying expression. Now, receiving students and Sevenis, before we go into the lesson itself, I would like us to look at some of the terms. And these terms are going to be used in our lesson today, and probably the other lessons that we will cover after this lesson. Now let us look at the screen. What is the difference between expression and term? So these are the two words. We will look at their differences by understanding their meaning. Now, receiving students and Sevenis. On the screen, I have the definition for expression. Expression is made up of terms separated by plus and minus sign. Let us look at an example of what an expression is. Let us look at an example of what an expression is. Receiving students and Sevenis, on the screen you have an example of what expression is. A plus A minus 2 is an expression. Remember, an expression is made up of terms separated by two operations which are addition or minus sign. Now let us look at the definition of term. Receiving students and services, can you read that definition? Okay, a term can be a number, letter, or combination of both. Combination of both meaning that it can be a number and a letter together. So that's what a term is. Let us look at an example of what a term is. A is an example of a term. 2A, 3A is an example of a term. And 2 is an example of a term. Now receiving students and 70s. A question. Looking at the examples of expression, how many terms makes up this expression? How many terms makes up this expression? How many? Okay, 2. Any more answers? Receiving students and 70s? A is a term, 3A is a term, and 2 is a term. Now look at this expression. How many? Okay. In this one expression, there are 3 terms that makes up this expression. A is a term. Is one term. This A is also another term. And this 2 is also another term. Remember, an expression is a term. An expression is made up of terms separated by plus or minus sign. Now receiving students and 70s, we will move into our lesson examples on today's lesson. Let us look at the example. 1. For each of these expressions, identify which terms are like terms and simplify where possible. Now we will try to identify expressions from these 2 examples here, A and B, and try to identify which terms are like terms. Like terms meaning that which terms are same so that we can simplify. Let us look at A. What is the solution? Example 1, A. A plus 2. Now which terms are like terms? A and A are like terms. Okay? So we can simplify by doing what? 2 is not a like term, so we cannot simplify by adding. So A plus 2 is equals to 2A plus 2. Why 2A plus 2? How did we get 2A? Receiving students and 7. Okay, because there are 2 lots of A, or A plus A is a like term. They are same, so we can add them. We cannot add 2 because it is not like term. So that's why we have 2A, because A plus A are the same. Now let us look at another example. B. 4P plus 2Q minus 2P plus Q. Now in this example you will see that 4P and 2P are like terms. Why they are like terms? Because they are same. 4 lots of P and 2 lots of P. 4 lots of P and 2 lots of P. 2 lots of Q and 1p, one lot of p or 1p are like terms. That's why we add 4p and 2p. And we add 2q and 1q. So let us look at the solution. 4p plus 2q minus 2p plus q is equals to 4p minus 2p. 4p minus 2p is equals to what? 2p. Receiving students and 7 is. My question is 4p minus 2p. What is the answer? 2p plus p. It is 2p. And 2q plus q. Okay, 3q. 3q. 2q plus 1q is equals to 3q. It's just like 2 plus 1. Okay? And above example, which is 4p minus 2p, is just like 4 minus 2 is equals to 2. Okay? Now we will look at our learning activity. Your learning activity, for each of these expressions, identify which terms are like terms and simplify where possible. Now receiving students and 7 is. From example, learning activity A, which two terms are like terms? Meaning that they are similar, so that you can add them or subtract them. Okay? 2x are similar. You can see there are 2 letter x there, so they are similar. You can add them. Can you add 10 and 11? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, you can add 10 and 11 together. And you can add those 2x there. Now, example, learning activity B. Let us identify the like terms. Which terms are like terms so that you can simplify? 3s and 2s. 3s and 2s are like terms, so you can simplify, either subtracting or adding, depending on the sign which is operation which is given. Is there any like term that we can add or subtract or simplify using 2r? No. 2r is an unlike term, so we cannot add 2r plus 3s. So receiving students and 7 is, I would like you to complete the learning activity. We have already identified the like terms from learning activity A and learning activity B. Receiving teacher, you can supervise the students. Okay. Okay, good. Good. Okay, good. Good. everyone minute talk silent. Complete that learning activity. No exercise. Me not to give a okay exercise. Learning activity, please. Which one is the like? Hey, this is. You look in sign. Subtraction. 3s minus 2s. It's not addition. Okay, receiving students and 7s. Let us look at the answers to our two learning activities. Receiving students, you can go up to the board and write your answers on the board. Let's have two students from model class. Okay, we have one name? Lisa and our friend Shannon. Thank you. First one. No. Lisa, okay, you do your answer, okay? Good. Okay, let us look at the answers. Receiving students and 7s. Our first answer A, x plus 10 plus x plus 11. So which two terms are like terms that we can add? This x and this x. So x plus this x is equals to 2x. Yes, we have 2x there. Can we add 10 and 11? Yes. So 10 plus 11 is 21. So our final answer is 21 plus 2x. Or you can have it as 2x plus 21. Either of this way, the answer is still correct. Okay. Exercise B. 2r plus 3s minus 2s. Which terms are like terms? Clement? Yes. 3s and 2s. So, what will be our answer? 2r plus s. 3s minus 2s is s. So, receiving students and 7s, these are our two answers for our learning activity. If you did not get it correct, please do corrections on the answers which have been given on the board. Now, students, we will move on to our exercise. We have three exercises which have been given. Exercise number 1, simplify this expression. Exercise number 2, collect like terms and simplify. And 3, complete the following expressions which have been given. Okay, receiving students and 70s, we will correct the exercise which is on the board. Okay, let's have 3 students. Receiving teacher, you can select 3 students to go up to the board and write the answer. Okay, I will have JJ, Ben. Okay, Florence. JJ, Ben, and Florence. JJ for A, Ben for B, and Florence for C. Write your answer on. Go. Write your answer. Okay. Okay. I'm writing again. Okay, let us look at the answers. Receiving students and 70s, let us look at the answers which have been given by the model class, which is on the board. Students, exercise A, B plus B plus B plus A is equals to 3B plus A. Yes. Is that answer correct? Yes. Yes. B plus B plus B plus B are all like terms. Therefore, we can add them. Exercise B. Which terms are like terms? All of them are like terms. So 2A plus 3A is equals to 5A plus 4A, 9A. Okay, we have 9A here. It's correct. Now, which terms are like terms? 3Y, 2Y, Y. Okay, these 3 terms are like terms. So you can simplify. 3Y plus 2Y. 5Y minus Y. 4Y. So the answer is correct. 4Y. So receiving students and 70s, if you did not get the answer correct, please do your own corrections from what is being given by the model class. Now, receiving students and 70s, we will move on to our summary for today's lesson. We have 2 summary points there. Receiving students and 70s, I would like you to copy the summary note. While you are writing, I will go through the points there. First point talks about like terms contain the same combination of symbols or numbers. So, if the letters are same, you can simplify. If the both numbers and letters combine together, and you would like to add those 2 numbers, you can also simplify that. So like terms contain the same combination of symbols and numbers. Summary point number 2, to simplify expression, you collect like terms together. So in order for you to simplify expression, you have to collect like terms which have same combination of symbols or numbers. If they don't have the same combination of symbols or numbers, it will be difficult for you to simplify because the rule doesn't apply. You only simplify when the terms are like terms. Receiving students and Sevenis, I hope you have copied the 2 summary points which have been given. Now students, we'll look at our keyword for today's lesson. Our keyword for today's lesson is simplifying. Simplifying. Our next lesson, lesson number 99, is substitution. Substitution. With that, receiving students and Sevenis, thank you very much for your participation.